Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Anna and I am an artist. And today I have 10 tips for you that are self-care for artists when you are feeling down or worse and you need a little help getting back on track. And I'm going to clarify here. When I say self-care, I don't mean self-indulgence. And a lot of people get those things mixed up. These came about because I was in a pretty depressed state just a few weeks back, and these are some of the things that I did to help me get back on track, and hopefully they'll help you too. While I give you these tips, I'm going to be drawing in my sketchbook. I just thought I'd do some hand studies because it had been a while and I was struggling with hands. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Tip number 1, stop scrolling. Studies have shown repeatedly that scrolling social media is really bad for us, especially those of us who are predisposed to anxiety and depression. For me personally, I notice the effects really quickly if I am spending too much time on social media or the internet. So I use the built-in app on my iPhone to limit my screen time. I found, though, that this wasn't working anymore, and so I did some research and found an app called Screen Zen that is helping me a lot more. So you might want to look into that one. It's completely free, or there are tons of others that can help you limit your screen time. Obviously, this is also going to take some self-discipline, which is rough, but during my little depressive episode a couple weeks ago, I realized pretty quickly that one of the big problems that was fueling it was that I was spending so much time on social media. And the irony is I was doing it to self-soothe, and it was actually making things worse. So figure it out for yourself. Different things are going to work for different people, obviously, but 10 out of 10 recommend. Stop scrolling, and your mood is probably going to improve pretty quickly. Also, it is a colossal waste of time, usually. So you're gonna find that your life is more fulfilling and that you get more things done that you actually want to do or need to do. And you're gonna feel overall a lot more productive and good about yourself if you put your phone down. Tip number 2, drink water. I said water. I am one of those people who is predisposed to dehydration, and I have ended up in the ER before needing to get an IV put in because I was dehydrated. Not everyone is in that situation. However, humans in general don't get enough water, and being even a little bit dehydrated, which a lot of people are, and they just don't even know, is actually very bad for you. You will have a lot of low-level symptoms that you just think are normal because you're used to being somewhat dehydrated. So please go and drink some water. And I don't mean some soda pop or some juice. Go drink water. This is extremely important for your health in every single way. So it's so overlooked and people just don't really think about it. So go drink a glass of water, drink 2 if you can, carry a water bottle with you like I do, decorate it with super cute stickers. And that in the long run is going to help you feel better. Tip number 3, eat something. I am one of those people that forgets to eat, and I end up eating breakfast at like noon sometimes. And not awesome. Also, though, I totally understand that for some people, especially when you're in a really anxious state, you haven't eaten for a really long time, and you might have some sensory issues, or you're just really, really aggravated. You're in a really dysregulated state that certain foods are intolerable in that moment. And this is probably a rarer issue, but I know that people deal with it because I sometimes deal with it. At those times, put whatever you can eat into your mouth that you're going to tolerate, because just getting some food into your system is going to help your system be able to regulate, and then you will be able to calm down and think a little more clearly, and then you can put something healthy into your body. If you can put something healthy into your body without all that first, then do that. Please try to get a fruit or a vegetable and some protein into your body, and that should help you feel a lot better. All right, tip number 4, get some exercise. This is something that is obviously going to look very different for everybody because we all have different abilities in this regard. So know your limits, but also moving your body is extremely important. It's proven to help lower inflammation and help with mood, and strength training, for those who can do it, is amazing at just helping you be overall much more healthy and to prevent injuries and illness, etc. So if you need to, talk to your doctor, but just know that just walking is so good for you that if that's something you can do, I highly recommend just starting with doing that. Any amount of adding steps to your day, your daily routine, and it doesn't have to be a lot to start with. Taking more steps than you normally take at all to any degree is going to improve your health a lot pretty quickly. And as someone who's been walking more in the last 4 months, I highly recommend this. Move your body. It's so good for you and helps with mood. Tip number 5, rest or take a break. Obviously, there are times when we have a job or previous obligations and the work that we're doing needs to be our top priority, and resting or a break has to wait. However, we also need to prioritize the rest, and as soon as we're able, please allot that time for yourself. It's extremely important, and everyone deserves rest. So for me personally, I have noticed that I often lately will be pushing myself to work on a painting or a drawing or what have you when I am not in a great place physically, mentally, emotionally, and the work suffers for it, but it also just makes everything that I'm dealing with worse. And so I just highly recommend that when it is possible to do something else, to go lay down for a while, do something to decompress your mind that isn't also going to stress you out more. So take a break, take a rest, make sure you prioritize that for yourself. You deserve rest no matter what. Everyone needs it, and it's something that a lot of people just don't allow themselves to have enough of. So please do that for yourself. Give yourself enough time to rest, relax, and recuperate. Tip number 6, go engage in one of your hobbies or some other activity that isn't the art. For me lately, that's been reading, something that I did a lot when I was younger and then just stopped doing for the most part for a lot of years. I have gotten back into it, and it's been so wonderful, and it helps me usually not to do the doom scrolling thing, which is a huge bonus. So if you have trouble knowing what your hobbies are, maybe think back to when you're a kid and try something now that you used to enjoy when you were younger. But even just stepping away from your artwork for a while to take a walk, cook yourself a good meal, or watch a TV show can help you go back to whatever you were doing with fresh eyes and a more pleasant state of mind. Tip number 7, clean or organize something. Studies have shown that having a messy space makes it harder for us to think clearly and feel relaxed, and it can create anxiety to be in a messy space. So if you're struggling with the anxiety or depression, and it's making it hard for you to create, try organizing something or cleaning up your space. And for those who feel like that's an insurmountable task, start really small. Break it into little pieces, and then the momentum should make continuing easier. I know for me that having a cleaner space helps my mind feel a lot more decompressed, and it makes being creative and feeling relaxed a lot easier. So I definitely recommend giving that a go. Tip number 8, work on a different piece of art or project. Having fresh eyes to go back to something is always a good thing, and when you're feeling stressed about a piece that you're working on and you're not enjoying the process, sometimes the best thing you can do is work on something else. Even something as simple as opening your sketchbook and doodling can be helpful. I have found that having more than one project going at a time is very good for me mentally because it allows me to continue to feel productive and like I'm still working toward finishing art instead of not finishing it, which is a problem that I know a lot of us have. Having more than one piece to move back and forth between can help keep your creative brain fresh and your mind relaxed about the whole process. This is probably something that won't work for everyone, but if you've never tried it before, maybe give it a go and see if it is something that will work for you. Keep in mind to keep the number of projects you're working on to a reasonable amount. Obviously, if you have too many projects going at once, you're going to end up experiencing a whole different kind of stress. For me, 2 to 3 projects going at a time, usually just 2 is enough to give me the benefit without creating more stress. Tip number 9, learn something, do a study, take a class, watch a tutorial. Sometimes doing something like engaging in learning creatively can help our brains be creative in a more structured way, which is sometimes really helpful for creating a more relaxing state of mind. At least it is for me. I just would like to add to be sure that if you do watch a tutorial or take a class or any of these things, make sure that you actually do the assignment or try out the thing that the tutorial was teaching you about. That way, you're more likely to retain the information and to have actually learned what you were trying to learn. The thing I'm most likely to do is a sketchbook page of studies on a subject that I just want to learn to draw or paint better. And then I end up with a nice sketchbook spread usually, which is also a morale boost. Tip number 10, check in with your priorities. Sometimes we end up doing things for the wrong reasons, even if we're doing exactly what we want to be doing. For me recently, I realized that a huge contributing factor to my depressive, anxious episode was actually that my priorities had flipped in my brain. I started making YouTube videos as a way to just keep myself accountable for doing art, doing more art. And in my brain, things had flipped over to where the videos themselves had become more important than the art itself, which was the point in the first place. So I had to do some checking in with myself and some working through that to start to get that to flip back into its proper order. And that is an ongoing struggle, but it's one that I'm trying to be aware of so that I can continue to feel better about the whole thing and do what I want to do what I love for the right reasons. So if you find that you're struggling with something, just check in with yourself and make sure that you're doing what you want to be doing for the right reasons. And if you're not, try to flip them back to where they're working for you in a way that's helpful and conducive to your mental and emotional health. It's amazing how just doing something for the wrong reason can be really bad for our mental and emotional health, and how doing something for the right reason can be really beneficial for us.
Yeah. All right. That is my 10 tips for artists and self-care. And I hope that you got something useful out of this and that you enjoyed watching me do some hand studies / doodles in my sketchbook. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!